I have exciting and somewhat anxiety-provoking news that I'm gonna share with you today, which is I've been working on the Repurpose Your Purpose podcast. Yes, I have, and I'm so scared to actually publish the first episode that I am procrastinating by making this video. I'm postponing a little bit longer, but I thought, let me say it. And one of the reasons why I also thought about sharing this with you is because, a lot came up for me recording this podcast, and some of it I was unaware of. So let's start from the beginning. First of all, why am I starting a podcast? Um, so here's why. I've been doing this work of deep coaching and working with people who want to do work we love, or they want to grow their business, or now I even work with leaders that want to have a healthy workplace and a good experience and be aligned with their vision. And so my work for years now has been around doing work you love. And I bring things from all sorts of different fields into my work. But I find that most of the content out there when it comes to work and business is very like one track. Sometimes it's clearly just about selling you something. And instead, like I feel like maybe what my clients appreciate, at least some of my clients, is that no matter what we talk about, I have resources, right? There's always something I know about that. And that's just because that's the way my mind works. And I've always been very curious and um, learning different things. So I wanted to have a place that was big enough, a virtual living room that was big enough where we could have all sorts of conversation. And if you're looking for a new career, or you're growing your existing career, or starting a business, all of that, I want to invite you to listen to every episode in a spirit of curiosity and openness and see what comes up for you. Um, so really, that's why I created this. I wanted to invite all sorts of peoples to have conversations with me about all sorts of topics I find interesting. So really keeping it related to work in a quite in a wide way, very open way. All right, so what was confronting about this is that if you had asked me, I would have said, "Oh, I'm very self-expressed, and yeah, I talk about stuff, And I realized actually I really don't. I have a lot of fear of being judged, and there are a lot of these conversations that yeah, I felt like, wow, I one-on-one I have no problem. Talking with some people I have no problem, but thinking about publicly sharing some conversations brought up this like sometimes quite crazy fear, right? Just like a little bit too much fear of this judgment. And I felt some frustration about that, kind of like, wow, I thought I was over that. Some resistance, some compassion. And it's like, yeah, it's scary when you put yourself out there. And also some like waking up of courage and being like, wow, I don't want to go through life like that. I don't want to be self-censoring, beyond the, like, I don't mean like now, you know, be an idiot and not having some care for others, but really, I really felt like, yeah, that's not who I want to be. I don't want to not have conversations and not share some thoughts of ideas for fear of imaginary judgment, that quite frankly, if I was my own coaching client, I would be like, wow, there's no way to please everybody. and think of somebody you really admire and love, and they probably are judged pretty badly, right? So that's what I would say to my clients, and it's a good reminder. So anyway, said that, my invitation is also, if you listen to any episodes and you don't like it, it's okay. I don't expect everybody to like every single episode. And what else came up for me during this? Well, it was a reminder that when you get in action, uh, things are easier in a way than you expect. In my head, it was going to be so complicated, and it's not perfect. You will see. I have to get better in a lot of ways, but also it wasn't that hard. You know, um, Definitely in my head, I had wasted a lot of time thinking about it rather than just doing it, which is what I also usually recommend to clients. Insights will come by being in action. And yes, that is true. I got a reminder. But maybe the most beautiful thing to come out of this experience is that I know so many wonderful human beings. I mean, it was no problem thinking of a few people I wanted to talk to start recording. And by the way, if you're watching this, you might be next in my series of emails. So be prepared. I might ask you to be on my podcast. But really, there were so many people I could think of that just I'm so lucky to know. And it was so wonderful that they said yes and they spent time having this conversation. I think I get sometimes too much in the news and in all this ugliness that we read about online, and can really skew our sense of what's going on, in the sense that there are horrible things going on, but there's also so much love and it's not reported. And when we look around at the people in our own lives that we talk to every day, or maybe even just once a year, every few years, there is so much love and just awesomeness, really. Like they're doing wonderful things, they have beautiful stories, their hearts are open. So the gift that they gave me, where I could be in conversation and listen to them, and with the intention of sharing. Wow, thank you. you know I think that was healing and wonderful for me for the past few weeks to go through that experience. So I hope some of that comes through. um I'm still a little bit anxious, but in the next few weeks, um I don't know when, I'm not gonna say when, expect to see the first of weekly episodes from the Repurpose Your Purpose podcast. All right. Happy Friday and have a wonderful weekend.